Welcome to Real Biz Talk with Zandra, where I showcase small business so that you could grow and scale your business globally. Today in the studio, I'm having the opportunity to meet a wonderful woman by the name of Brenda Bingham. In fact, I'm on her set today. Brenda, welcome to the show.
Well, thank you, Zandra. It's my pleasure to have you to interview me on my show.
I love it. Thank you. Thank you for allowing me to be on your set,
yes.
Where you're going to be filming your shows, to actually talk to you and
yes.
to really share more about who you are and why you're here. And I don't mean in the studio. I mean, why you're here on Earth. Tell me more.
Well, I am first of all, married woman with 2 kids.
Okay.
I have 3 bonus, 2 daughters and 1 son. I am a identical twin. I have an identical twin sister named Linda. So growing up was kind of difficulty. People would get us confused, Linda, Brenda, whatever. But the first name that they called was Linda. That's the person had to answer, Linda. Not Brenda. But I'm an educator. I've been in education for over 40 years now. I retired with 31 years of education as a school counselor. I was a teacher and a school counselor from the public school. Then I went to the private district for 5 years and I was a counselor. And then I decided to let that go in the private sector and move into as a substitute counselor. But in the interim of all of this, I also started my own organization, nonprofit rather, called A Beautiful Mind.
Ooh, did y'all hear that? A beautiful mind.
Yes.
I love that. That's so
yes.
positive.
Exactly.
Yes.
And that's because, the mind is, as a teacher, I used to say, a mind is a terrible thing to waste.
Yes.
And when you realize life, that most of the time, the battle that we have, it comes from the mind.
It starts in the mind, don't it? Because this thing is powerful.
Exactly.
It is very powerful.
Exactly.
I tell my clients when I coach them about the mind, how much your mind controls the outcome throughout your body, your life, throughout your body, everything. So I want to just, to spend a little bit of time at being an educator for many, many years. What was the most interesting change that you saw in the education system over that 31 years that you served and gave to children?
The change that I saw was moving from where kids were self-independent, taking care of them. There was basically interest in going to school and learning.
Yes.
The kids were excited about learning. And I noticed that there was a change, a shift, I call it, in the atmosphere where kids came to school for a totally different reason. And that reason was because what was going on at home behind the scene. And it was like an escape to come to school emotionally and physically, some of them. Yes, that was there for education, but that social, emotional part where they're growing up and they need somebody to be there for them, because we move into a society, which I notice as an educator, you have both parents working, and therefore the kids was left at home. We used to call it latchkey society, raising themselves, and then they move into now who's taking care of me? So their minds begin to drift and begin to wandering, and then they move into an era where I was not satisfied as a teacher that they should be.
Yes.
Because what are they watching? The eye gate on television. And what were they hearing with the ear gate?
Yes.
Allow them to speak things that was not becoming.
Yeah, I did a show maybe, I don't know, weeks back, but one of the things that I found to be so interesting,
Uh-huh.
because I went to a high school maybe about 18 months ago. I don't need to date myself. I've been out of high school a long time, y'all. But at any rate, I was shocked to know that I felt like I was at the airport. I was like, I got to put stuff in a bin, and then I got to walk through the scanner, the situation to see. And I was like, this just don't seem like school. This feel like something that I'm not familiar with. So I know that there's many changes that have happened in the education system, but you didn't let it stop you. You literally have now pivoted in the midst of that and created this nonprofit called A Beautiful Mind, which to me is so very positive.
Yes.
It's encouraging. I mean, when you say it, it automatically kind of shifts your mindset. That, I got a beautiful mind. It ain't so tore up after all.
Right.
So tell me about A Beautiful Mind.
Well, A Beautiful Mind was created because of what I've seen in the education system. Students mind wander, or they having issues, personal issues that was created. And it wasn't just for the secular, it was spiritually as well. Mm-hmm. So I went to my pastor at the church, and he says, yes, you can join the counseling session. So I began to counsel, but now it's been 20 years at Inspired Church. But in the process of that, God spoke to me and said, create your own nonprofit. And which I did, and I call it A Beautiful Mind. And the reason it's called A Beautiful Mind, whatever they're going through, they don't feel beautiful. They think in negative thoughts. People don't think that they are beautiful, that their mind that God had given them is the greatest gift on earth, that anything that God created was a mind for the human being to be able to think, to communicate, and to speak to another person and to have a wonderful life. But when they get stuck in their emotion, then it's hard for them to understand that their mind is beautiful, that they are beautiful. And when I say their mind, I'm talking about them as an individual.
Sure.
Because they think.
So I really want to, kind of look at the nonprofit a little bit closer.
Mm-hmm.
And let's say that I'm just a, individual that maybe think I might have some mindset, issues. I'm not really thinking the way maybe I should, or I've got some negative thoughts. Tell me, what's the typical person that you deal with in that nonprofit to help them? Is it just people with everyday?
No, thank you. That's a good question, John.
Yes.
I appreciate that.
Yes.
No, I deal with people with depression, anxiety.
Okay.
Individuals who've been divorced. I counsel with people who are having marital problems. We all do.
I don't know, because I ain't married.
But all kinds of mental health issues that I help them to understand that, they are not what they're going through.
So because I love this, and I'm glad that we're discussing it, a little bit deeper, because to me, you would think, oh, well, what do I have to be? I mean, I could be, having anxiety. I could be, stressed. I could feel that, I've had a significant trauma. I could be married. I could be single. You could be whatever it may be. You can go and check out Brenda R. Bingham and really know how to start navigating their life and clearing up that mindset. So what we're going to do, we're going to take a break. But when we come back, I really, really want to spend a significant amount of time talking about that nonprofit, how people can get involved, and where can they get a hold of you.
Okay, sounds good.
Sounds good to me. We'll be right back. So. We're back where I've been talking to Brenda R. Bingham, who is an amazing individual that was a school educator that actually turned into a nonprofit. And we also know that you're getting your doctorate degree. So I want to ask you, before the break, we were talking about, just this nonprofit and mindset and the people that actually can get a hold of you to get help. If I wanted to seek support from you, how would people get a hold of you?
Well, prior to COVID, you can reach me at the Inspired Church. But I realized that there are a lot of people who were hurting, not only mentally, emotionally, but COVID had brought out a lot of people that has anxiety and fear. Domestic violence is just running rapid
Is
now.
it on the rise?
Oh, it has increased tremendously. So there are a lot of hurting people that is out there. So I formed, for my nonprofit, it's called A Beautiful Mind, also created a binghamtv.com where people can reach me through binghamtv.com. If they don't want to go through Inspired Church, they can reach me for counseling at binghamtv.com.
I love it, binghamtv.com. And then there'll be a list of services and things that they could kind of get better acquainted with you. I love it. I love it. I want to talk to you about your further education as well, and how this ties into your nonprofit and to your up and coming, TV show. But let's first talk about what inspired you to go and get a doctorate degree.
I've always wanted my doctorate degree.
Yes.
When most people don't know, I had both my hips replaced in the year 2000, and I was working on my master's degree. So in the midst of that, I had my hip replaced. So I had 1 year left. And so my determination was to go and finish up my master's degree. From there, I was going into the doctoral program. But because of my hips and then returning back to work, I just said enough was enough. But then I was inspired. God said, now is the time, about a year and a half ago, right before COVID, to go ahead and work on your doctorate degree. Perfect timing. Perfect timing.
It sounds perfect. Let me tell you, but here's the thing. What I love about you, Brenda, is that you don't let anything stop you in your tracks.
No.
You had 2 hip replacements.
Bilateral hip replacement.
You
3
were
months
working
apart.
on your master's.
Working on
and
my
in the
master's.
midst of that, you heard God say, get that doctorate degree. And you did it.
Well, in that part, I didn't go immediately.
Oh, okay. What is that called?
That means that delay but not deny. It means I didn't go.
Delayed obedience is disobedience.
That is correct.
Okay.
So I allowed my physical pain. I wanted my body to heal.
Oh, understandable.
And then later, it's like 20 years later, I'm sorry, that I said, okay, God, where do I go? And so happened, I'm at, and by the way, I finished my course at Bible Seminary Institution, Christian Bible Seminary and Institution by Dr. Tony Lewis. And it is an incredible doctoral program that I'm in. It's Christian counseling and psychology. Again, dealing with the mind, working with people who are hurting. Because people always say in the world that there are people in the world who are hurting, but Christians hurt just as much as the secular people. And then they say, don't go to counseling, religion.
Yeah.
You don't need counseling. Yes, people need to talk to somebody.
Yes, I so agree. Because you know what? We all, even though we are Christians and might be saved and we sanctified and filled with the Holy Ghost, at the end of the day, we are human beings and on assignment here. So there are times that we need to be able to talk through and have that counseling. So I applaud you for getting your doctorate degree in both those things. It's biblically based, but yet there's that psychology piece of it.
That is correct.
I love that.
I love it too.
Congratulations on that. That is
thank
a
you.
major feat.
I appreciate that.
Because I'm going to tell you, I ain't finna go get no doctorate. Oh, okay. Anyhow, that is, I mean, really, that is amazing.
Yes.
So now that you have, this education is kind of, you've kind of, it's not swept under the rug, but it's kind of on the side. You got it accomplished.
Right.
What a major accomplishment. Tell me how that ties into you developing that nonprofit to be greater.
Well, it validates, because some people don't realize.
Okay.
They'll say, well, you got a master's degree, but are you a doctor? Well, you really don't have to have a doctorate degree to be a counselor once you go and receive your master, but it validates in people's mind, and they feel comfortable coming to you when they know you're Dr. Bingham.
Yes.
And so you're the same person, but it's just that title that people use.
Yeah, and so and it's true, because I think that the world, that we're living in, that there is some gravitas to it when you could say, doctor.
Yes.
And so, but I applaud you for doing that. I want to go back to the nonprofit though, because I think a beautiful mind. It just keeps sticking in my mind. A beautiful mind. Explain to me kind of like one of your programs associated with Beautiful Mind.
One of my programs that is with a Beautiful Mind that is dear to my heart is helping women who have gone through domestic violence, helping women who have gone through trauma or sickness in their bodies, in their life, whether it may be breast cancer, whether it may be divorce, whether it's emotional or physically. Women who is like the survivor, the head, when they're not so called the head, but they are the head of the household. Yes. But they're out there working and trying to take care of family, but then they forget about themselves. So I'm there for them.
Okay. We get lost, don't we?
Yes, we do.
We get lost in the muck. I always talk about all the roles that we have as a woman, and then we lose part of us in the process because we are serving so many others and trying to create something great for their lives, or be all the things that we need to be. We have to be everything.
Yes.
So, do you just primarily service women though?
No.
All right.
Teenager. As I said, I do marriage counseling as well. But no, I do at-risk teenagers. I do individual counseling. It's just awesome. Not women, men as well. And here's the funny story, that when I get a male to come in to see me, I stop and I give them applause. I congratulate them because they decide to take care of themselves, to talk about issues that they're having. Yeah, women, we'll talk.
Yeah, but men be like, I ain't trying to tell nobody
about my business. But when I get a male to come in, I celebrate them. Because if you look at statistics, you see most of our male are out there in prison because they don't want to talk about the issues that they're dealing with. It's that, hush, suck it up. Yeah. You're a man.
Yeah, exactly.
But men cry too.
I know that's right. Listen, how can people get a hold of you if they want to be involved in your program?
They can go to binghamtv.com.
Go to binghamtv.com. I'm telling you, you're amazing and you have this calmness about you. I think if you need to really talk through some things, go check out binghamtv.com. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back.
Okay.
So let's keep talking.
It's hard to turn on the TV or unlock your phone and not see the bad of the world on your screen. Well, there is good out there, and you need to see it. Zondra TV Network is the breath of fresh air that you've been needing. Success stories, business ventures, and walks of faith. Visit the home of positive and inspirational programming, Zondra TV.
If you need transformation in your life, I encourage you to go check out Revolutionize My Life on Zondra TV Network. That is where evolution occurs one step at a time. Revolutionize My Life at ZondraTV.com. Welcome back. We've been talking with Brenda R. Bingham, who has an amazing ministry, really around your mind, a beautiful mind. And before break, Brenda, we were talking about, all of the different types of folks that so you're able to help and support, from women to men to couples to teens. Doesn't make any difference. If you have an anxiety and stress, and we surely got plenty of anxiety and stress in this day and time, you should go check out BinghamTV.com. Now, I'll tell you this. One thing that I heard you say loud and clear is that there has been an increase of domestic violence during the pandemic.
Correct.
I just want to get your thoughts on why is that?
Well, I would say because the lockdown. Families are now getting to know each other. Prior, we was very busy working.
Yeah.
But now the lockdown caused the family to come together to sit and to really get to know the person that you're with. And some of them realize that it's a control issue, the male, and realize that, oh, she's not doing what I asked her to do, maybe quickly, or may feel that the woman's about to leave them because of the control issue that they're having with the man. But there are various reasons why domestic violence increased. But when you look at the news and television all day long, first thing they say, oh, that's a shooting, domestic violence case.
Yeah.
That's a killing. It's a domestic violence case. And it's really heartbreaking to me because, I was in a domestic violence situation and God brought me through it. And so that's why I said domestic violence is one of those who are very dear to my heart because, we all things, women, we raise kids, we cook, we clean, we try to do everything, but we're not perfect.
So I have to ask you this question because I'm wondering in my mind, because I think, I want to call 40, 50 years ago, we thought about domestic violence just being somebody, to beat down. But really, there's this mental abuse that I ain't going to say it's powerful than the physical. But I think that sometimes we take more of the mental abuse. Do you find that to be true, or do we, or is it equal?
No, you're on the right track.
status?
You're on the right track. And see, the difference between the mental and the physical you can see.
Yes.
You can see somebody bruised. You can see somebody maybe lose a life, a limb. But the mental part, the emotional part, where you're verbally being abused, people can't see that.
Yeah.
And that's where the tear down coming emotionally with the woman on the inside, that she's been abused emotionally, verbally, by tearing that person down, saying you're not this, or you're less than that, or you should have do this, you got your body. Especially when a man talk about your body figure, we're very sensitive to that. But the verbal abuse is, I would say, is more devastation to a woman because it deals with her self-esteem and her self-worth.
Ah, yeah. Yeah, I could absolutely see that. I want to ask you about men though.
Okay.
Because of course you hear, there's male abuse too. They get abused.
They get abused.
And so is the greater percentage in that mental area that occurs for men, or because I don't know. I mean, or is it both? I don't know. Is they getting the beat down too? I mean, I'm just saying. Well, how does it? Is it? What do you see happening?
Well, we do have men that's been abused by their wife. It's because men take the back road of being left less aggressive than the wife, who's been more aggressive, take the aggressive role. But in a majority, there are women that's been abused more than there are men. I'm not going to minimize the fact that men are being abused.
Okay.
Of course, yes, they are being abused by their wife. But when you look at statistics and you look at the society, the news, and what's going on globally, is more women is being abused than men.
Yeah.
And men being abused, it hurt because it hurts their ego.
Yes.
They don't want other men to know that they've been abused. Well, women, we kind of verbalize, but they want to stay for various reasons. And I would like to say to women who stay, they're way out, but the other women who criticize them for staying, that, I say shame on you.
Oh, okay.
Because you don't know why that person's staying. You don't know why that person did not leave. You're not in that situation.
Yes.
So to criticize a woman for staying in an abusive relationship, you're not wearing their shoes. You're not
that's
them.
right.
Now you may say, I wouldn't
know
take
that's
that,
right. Yes.
but you're not them.
Yeah. Oh, I love it. This is really rich discussion. I love this. I want to pivot a little bit.
Okay.
Because you know I have to talk about your show.
Oh, well,
I want to talk about your show. Tell me about your show, the name, how you came up with it, and why it is so important to you.
Well, the name of the show, Zandra, look for names. I came up with many, as you know,
Yes.
different titles. And then one day I said, it's the Brenda Bingham Show. But living an overcoming life, because that described me. From my life, growing up, a young lady who was kidnapped, teenager, at the age, almost died because of the man, took me to a wooded area to destroy me. But he said, because you call on that name Jesus, I'm going to let you go. And of course he said to me, the young lady, do you know Jesus saved your life?
For real.
For real.
Oh, my.
And what I did as a teenager, out of shame and guilt, because you were taught never get in the car with a stranger, but you're so excited about going somewhere that your parents first time let you go and spend a night with somebody. I didn't tell anybody for years.
Really?
Did not tell anybody. So from that experience, then growing up in a domestic violence situations, from rape to domestic violence, physically, emotionally, and spiritually. In the church, people put you down because I was a teenage mother too.
Oh.
I got pregnant at the age of 19.
Okay.
So I was talked about because, you're in the church, people know what you did. But they don't never talk about the male. It was the woman who sinned.
Yes.
So I have a life of experience from emotional, physical, and mentally, spiritually, shame and guilt that I had to grip myself and realize that's not who I am. Those things happen to me, but they don't determine who I am.
Oh, they don't define you.
They don't define me.
I know
Only
that's
God
right.
defined me.
I know that's right.
Yes.
Wow, a devastating life early on
Yes.
as a teen.
As a teen.
But whose name did you call on?
Jesus.
I know that's
And Jesus saved me.
I heard that. I heard you clearly when you said that's what you
That's right.
yelled out. But more importantly, that's what the guy told you.
Yes.
So tell me more. So on the show, give me just one of the titles of one of your shows that we're going to be seeing.
Oh my gosh. One of the titles is Surviving Women, 2 of them, who overcame breast cancer.
Oh, wow.
One is 1 year since COVID, and the other one is 18 years.
Wow.
So you got a newbie, and you have a seasoned person.
Oh, wow.
And I want women to know that it doesn't matter. God,
can
trust him. He will bring you through.
Yes, God will bring you
He
through.
will bring you through.
I love it.
Yes.
Okay, that's going to be good. When is your show going to air?
Hopefully in December or maybe next year. So get ready, look forward. It's coming. I would say it's coming soon.
Soon. December, January, it's coming.
It's coming.
I know you want to have more information about it. Again,
Yes.
if people just want to check you out now, where can they reach you?
Again, you can go to binghamtv.com.
I love it.
And that Bingham TV will take you to whatever page you want to go to. You'll know more about who I am and what I do. BinghamTV.com.
Well, I think you're an amazing woman.
Well, thank you, Zandra. I appreciate that.
You look so beautiful today. I see your blue is just popping.
Ooh.
Everything is great. I don't know. I thank you for being here. It's quite courageous for you to have a TV show and to do what you're doing in the domestic violence area and just in emotional distress that people are having. So I applaud you and I thank you for that. Congratulations again on your doctorate degree and congratulations on your TV show. We look forward to seeing great things from you.
Zandra, I am blessed.
And thank you for watching another episode of Real Biz Talk with Zandra, where I showcase small business so that you not only grow locally, but nationally and globally as well. Until we meet again, as I always say, continue to be the absolute best you.